live with the same luxuries as the New England Patriots. Can they live with Peyton Manning throwing the ball 40 times a game, much the way Tom Brady does these days?
No. And let me tell you why. Because this Broncos team is really built around this defense. And if you're going to throw the ball 40 times a game, you're going to have far too many 3-and-outs.
Defense will be on the field too long.
Defense will be on the field too long. And let me tell you what that does. Just give me a second on this one. So you come to the sideline as a defense.
Moaning. Okay.
And if it's a 2-minute drive by your offense, you get to the sideline, you get some water, the coaches ask a couple of questions, you never actually get to the answer to those questions. Now it's a 5 or 6 minute drive where Peyton's not throwing the ball 40 times, he's throwing it 28, 20, maybe 30 times, and you run the ball 30 times. As a defense, those Microsoft Surface tablets, those plays aren't automatically loaded in there. It takes some time to get the plays loaded in there. It takes some time for the coaches to have a conversation with the player. The player gets a chance to kind of guess what's happening out there. But until the coaches see on the tablet, they don't really have a solution yet. So then the coaches have to talk to other coaches up in the booth and on the sideline about how we're going to fix what's happening. Then they have to coach the players on what we're going to do to fix what's happening. Then the players got to nod in agreement and say he's got it. So that can't happen on a 2-minute offensive drive. That can happen on a 5 or 6 minute drive. And that's what makes your defense very effective when you run the ball. You limit the exposure of your defense, and you get a chance to coach in between series, which you could not do on a 2-minute drive.
Well, and the England Patriots are running a hurry up, no huddle offense.
They're a lot of short stuff, a lot of dink and dunks.
So they're scoring at will and pretty quickly, like the Packers. So how were they able to do it with the defense? It's not as good as this one, because I'm going to just add the one factor. The reason why I moaned was I was watching the Broncos very carefully. I was in Detroit. They were running guys in and out of there because you're not playing against hurry-up offense. I saw at one point they brought in 8 new players. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about situational. I'm talking about, okay, we've given up. There have been 5 or 6 nice runs down the field. Detroit in the fourth quarter. Let's get some fresh bodies in there. When you got a defense that's got as much depth as this one, we're talking about the Shaquille Barretts that David Bruden said. Why in the world, and you played on teams with depth, teams that didn't have deep depth, forgive me, but how, I mean, when you got depth, you can call to come out. All you got to do is this, and somebody replaces you.
But what?
I think throwing the football is as effective as running the football.
But there are a couple other things here. Number one, you're facing better defenses and better pass rushers in the playoffs. So that means more pressure on Peyton Manning. And number two,
I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm talking about right now.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about now and the playoffs. I'm talking about surviving throwing 40 times a game, whether it's regular season or playoffs. So you're facing better defenses with better pass rushers, and you've got a 39-year-old quarterback. I don't want to put the whole burden on my 39-year-old quarterback, especially a guy who, so far, he's played pretty darn well, but he's still showing a lack of consistency at times.
Well, if you can't run the football, I go back to it.
True.
I don't. You're
they got to run it better.
You're sitting here talking about the playoffs. I don't buy green bananas. I am right now worried about the banana today. I want a yellow banana today. I don't want a green banana that I might eat a week and a half from now.
Right now, they have to throw the ball 40 times a game. Well, they can't run it right now.
What is the record of the 3 teams the Broncos played this year? They're 1-8.
They're awful, yeah.
So to take what the Broncos are doing now and expect that to be successful, as Les pointed out, against good teams and playoff teams, what, he's got to walk it off?
Yeah, walk it off. But if you can get off to 7 or 8-0 record, 7-0 record, which I think they could do, that's a lot better than saying, okay, we're going to, what Gary Kubiak was doing was, we're work in progress. Well, yeah, you could have been 0-3 right now. Your work in progress is over with as the Baltimore Ravens. You got to worry about the moment.
No, you have to win the football game. There's no doubt about that, but you still have to.
Yeah, well, let's get to that. Let's see if we can't figure out. I assume the years you spent that, okay, we got practice every week. Let's work on the stuff we're not doing well, but meanwhile, let's do the stuff we're doing well. Am I making any sense?
Well, yeah, but the difference of opinion here is short-term versus long-term.
Right.
Game by game or full season.
If I get off to an 8-0 record, I can kind of not coast through that November.
Well, that's the last thing you want to do.
No.
You want to play your best football in December.
But I can afford to lose to the Packers and to the Patriots, maybe. I can lose maybe to the Bengals, although all 3 of those home games, I can go on the road and lose to the Raiders, let's just say. because I have set myself up with an 8-0 record or 7-0 record or 9-2 that I'm going to, if I can win, as they did last year, if I can win 2 or 3, I'm going to get a home field advantage.
Your hypothetical conversation you just had with yourself has never occurred inside a football facility outside of the media room. There is not a coaching staff in America that would say, you know what? We can lose this game and we can lose that game and we can lose it. They don't think like that. They want to win every single week.
Oh, well, that's bull. I'm going to tell you what John Elway told me, and I can't believe when the schedule came out, you didn't go, we're going to be 10-6 if we're good. John Elway told me the first thing he did when he looked at the schedule, he went WWWLLL. So I don't believe you for a moment. Forgive
come
me.
on, but that's just a fun thing you do at the beginning of the season.
Right.
No,
Once you
I'll
get
ask
into
you.
once you
I'll
get
ask
into
you.
the day-to-day rigors
He's talking
of
about
the
the
NFL
media room.
schedule.
I can talk about
No,
that
you
room
take it.
down the
You actually
hallway.
do take it
You
one
never-
game at a
no.
time.
Oh,
Yes,
I don't believe that for a
in
moment.
April when the schedule comes out, yeah, every player does that
see,
same thing. And, yeah, I've done
Forgive me,
that same
great
thing as well.
respect, very respectfully, I can't believe you don't start the month of November and go, boy, if we can get out of this 2-2, we're being in great
All right,
shape.
let's-
You never had that
hey.
discussion in the locker room. You never had it at home.
All right,